G'day Tim, Home Chef from Automower, and we're going to be talking about one of my recent installs of a 550. This model here is installed one of two at a wedding venue. It's covering about 2,000 square metres with a boundary wire system because the standard 550 is only a wired version. It passes through 2 holes in the hedge and 1 driveway crossing. So it's not your standard install. I would rate it as more of a complex install. All 3 guide wires go through the 2 holes in the hedge, and two of the 3 guide wires go across the driveway crossing as well. There's about 19 islands in the install, and one of the guide wires goes over about 3 islands, and that's not a big deal. It's just if it's set up right, that'll work well. So you can see it going through the hedge there. So there's your install there, and you can see, I'll just pause that for a bit longer. 3 guide wires, we've got orange, red and yellow. The red one's the longest one. The reason why I've set up 2 guide wires going right through the install is, even though this has been running really well on GPS, I predict I'll probably balance it out next season by setting it to area mowing. So I'll set it to follow a guide wire X amount of meters and get it start there at a certain percentage. Because an install like this with a charge plate hard to the left, often the mower will choose to start mowing from the charge plate location more often than the guides. The guides are really important for the mower to get to and from the install, but also the location of the tail of the guide wire is really key. So if I could have really put one, left the red one there, guide wire, and the yellow one wouldn't need to go right down to the end. I could run that into the middle section across the driveway, so it would split the 3 end tails of the guide wires in 3 different locations. But knowing that I probably would set this one on one of the very few that I would set on an area, because GPS mowing is very effective, and it still does really well on that, which is quite surprising for how much it's got to navigate, but it does overmow that first area to the hard left there. Yeah, so you can see the yellow guide wire that goes through the hedge, which is that double area there, across the driveway. So that's 1 island, because there's an island in between those 2 guides, so both those guides go over the island wire, and then yellow goes across the driveway, loops in around, goes across another island there, and then across a 3rd island before it comes to the end. But the key is I wanted a redundancy, because this is pretty important lawn that it keeps really tidy, being at a wedding venue here. So when I set up the area, I've got multiple guide wires I can put something onto and narrow down where it is. So we're going on to the boxing here. So we dug out the driveway and boxed it up, concrete it, and you can see I use a straight edge or a level there against the lawn, so I don't box against the side of the lawn so that there's no damage to the lawn there. So this is 1 week laying the concrete, and then 2 or 3 days later strip the boxing, kept the fence off for a couple of days, and then did some concrete cuts next weekend and did the install. 3 cuts, got a 750mm gap there. I like it to be a bit wider than the minimum 600. 600 would do fine. 750, the mower follows the left hand side of the guide wire nice. Charge plate location here. You can see I kept that nice and wide and open. And we put the bricks back over afterwards. I've got the Husqvarna Install 400 there, cable layer. Awesome machine. It's perfect for professional installations and gets a lot of use. So one of the many islands there, all up including the trees. There's a lot of trees to island off. There's about 19 islands. So by the time you add that to an install, the amount of islands you're adding, about another hour to an hour and a half. Smoker provided. Wires in, loaded up there. Screwing down the charge plate on the bricks. These bricks wiggled around a wee bit, but just put some concrete screws through them for bricks to hold that down. They're not going to go anywhere. Galv washers there, so they'll last for a long time, and galv covered screws. Wide opening there, so that when the mower repositions itself for the plate, it's going to have no worries docking. Here's the 2 hedge crossways through there. I love this background here. It's bean straw in there. You can use bean straw or pea straw in your garden to keep the weeds down, so it's gets the maintenance down. Looks really nice. It's good contrast against the lawn. The 550 comes with all-terrain tyres. It's not a super popular model now, but it's really a commercial version of the 450, so it can do up to 5,000 square metres. Works really effectively. Originally it was designed so it could set up to 3 to mow in the same area with the correct installation of wire and charge plate locations. Basically each mower would return to the one charge plate location through guides, but then through programming it would know how much distance it would need to go to get to its next to its charge plate in the situation of having 3. It's not something that's taken off in EPOS in that scenario. It's sort of superseded the need to do that, but the 550 is still really good for a commercial application. It is basically the same as the 450, so you're looking at about a 270 minute mow and an hour and 10 charge. But it's an awesome reliable unit and it does well. That's it for this one, guys. Catch you next one. Cheers.